All right. So as a preliminary matter, this is the Conservation Commission meeting of November 10th, 2020. Permit me to confirm that all members can hear and we've got good audio. So we've got Bill Holt, we've got that, good audio. Let's go with Ben. How's your audio?
Doing fine, thank you.
Brilliant. And Daniel, how's your audio?
Good evening.
Beautiful. Kevin, how do you sound?
I sound fine.
All right, good. And Gretchen, how's your audio?
How do I sound? Okay.
All right. So, good evening. This November 10th meeting, open meeting of the Conservation Commission is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. For this meeting, the Conservation Commission is convening by Zoom as posted on the agenda. Let's see. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that attendees are participating by video and/or telephone conference. Meeting materials were provided to the board members prior to the meeting for review, or there were no materials for the meeting that were distributed. Applicants or their representatives may be called upon to speak, and if needed, share information to the screen. Please state your intention after you've been called. Before we get started, some of the ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I, the chair, will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, question, or motion. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute yourself when you're not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. Please be aware that video participants can see you and that you should take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. Board members should be called upon in first name alphabetical order to ease the process. If board members wish to engage with others, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. After the board has spoken, the chair will afford the public comment as follows. The chair will seek questions through the raise hand function. For video participants, this function can be accessed by clicking on the participant option listed in the menu below the photo gallery. The window will open and display on the right. On the bottom of this participant area, you will see the list of phone or video participants, and on the bottom, you will see the ability to click on a button to raise your hand. Please ensure your name is displayed. List your name, address, and then your question. Telephone participants can use their phone's keypad while in a Zoom meeting to raise hand by hitting *9. The chair will then seek questions from the public that have hit the raise hand button in the order of which they are listed. The participants will be called upon to identify their name and address and then their question. The chair will afford the applicant or their representative the opportunity to reply. Your hand will be lowered when you have been given the floor for your questions. The board will continue down the list of those in the raise hand column and again afford the applicant or rep an opportunity to speak. Should there be a physical or electronic submittal of questions or concerns, they will be read for the record, and again, the applicant or rep will be afforded the opportunity to speak if the issues raised have not yet been addressed. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote, and that's that. Good. So, let's see. So Peter didn't show up, all right. Well, Bill Holt, you want to get us started with whatever updates you have on your end, and then we'll go to, oh, I should open a topic here. All right, so, minutes. We have minutes to do.
Brian, just we had some meeting minutes. Just if you go by the
Right.
agenda, the meeting minutes.
Right, I'm just looking at the agenda and seeing that. So let's do the minutes. Did everybody see the minutes for July 21st, August 4th, and August 18th?
Yes.
Great. Did anybody see anything they would like to adjust or correct in these minutes of those dates? All sorts of head nods. Okay. All right. Well, then let's go through these one by one and we can improve them. So let's have a motion for the minutes of July 21st, 2020.
I
Move
So
to
motion
approve
to
the
accept.
minutes.
Second.
Great. Roll call. Benjamin,
Aye.
Daniel,
Yes.
Kevin,
Aye. Yes.
and I will also vote in the affirmative. All right. So let's have a motion for the minutes of August the 4th of 2020.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Great. All right. Roll call. Benjamin,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
and I'm also voting in the affirmative. All right. Last one. Let's have a motion for the minutes of August 18th, 2020.
Motion to accept the minutes as written.
Second.
Beautiful. Lovely. All right. Roll call. Benjamin,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
and I'm also voting in the affirmative. So now moving on to our public hearing. The Town of Newbury, 14th
Chair,
Street,
Mr. Chair.
DEP number.
Brian,
Huh?
I just got a text from Pete. He has the planning board, select board meeting this evening as well. That does not expect it will last long, but neither will our meeting, hopefully. So, but he won't be
All
able to make it until later. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, fair enough. No, that's okay. Good to know. All right, we were on Town of Newbury for the public hearing. Town of Newbury, 14th Street, DEP number still to be determined. It is a continued NOI to improve the right-of-way and construct an emergency access driveway. The applicant has requested a continuance until December the 1st of 2020. All right, so Bill Holt, you want to fill us in on our continuance request?
Bill Holt is frozen.
No, we lost Bill Holt.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah, maybe I can, if Bill's frozen. I believe council sent in a letter requesting a continuance because we're still preparing information, the updated information and the alternatives analysis update for December 1st. But in the meantime, we understood that the commission wanted to
Can you hear
talk
me?
about
Hello? No.
talk about getting a peer reviewer going. So
Right.
for the engineering for the road. So anyhow, so we're not,
Right.
I'm not here with a project team. It's just me, just to be here for the peer review discussion, but we're not prepared for nor anticipating any substantive discussion since the hearing should be continued.
Excellent. Beautiful summary, Tom. Bill, are you back? Okay.
It is.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure Bill should be the one to go through
He's back.
the peer review.
Hello? I'm here.
Ah, Bill, there you go.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm trying to get my phone working.
All right.
Doesn't know.
Thank you, Bill.
Hello?
Yeah, you're good.
So we have two choices that we have on. I emailed the board earlier, Joseph Walker, who's a PE, and Phil Christensen, who's a PE. They both reviewed plans in various towns. And they're, fairly thorough. They do fairly thorough reviews for the design for compliance with standard engineering practice with respect to, can you hear me? With respect to materials, specifications, and alignment, grading for proposed roadways. So I think either of them would be a good choice to offer the applicant. And usually we offer the applicant, we should offer the applicant a couple of choices, and they can make their preference known as to who they'd like to use, if that's agreeable to the commission.
Okay. So going to Tom then, do you have a preference one way or the other with those names?
Yeah, I mean, first I'll say both are perfectly qualified peer reviewers. We don't really object to either. I think of those choices, Phil Christensen, I think, would be the one we would go to.
Okay. All right. So then going to the board, does anybody have any feelings about these people? Do they happen to know past work or past experiences in some other fashion? So let's go through. Ben, you know anything? You want to?
No comment.
Okay. Daniel?
No comment. I think if I had a choice, it might be Mr. Christensen.
Okay. And Kevin?
I no comment.
Okay. I'm also fairly uninformed about either person's background. For the sake of just checking in with everybody, Mary, do you guys have an opinion one way or the other that you would like to offer the board on either of them?
She shook her head. No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Stewart, I see a hand up. You've got an opinion. Go for it.
I would just ask the question why we would rely on Mr. Hughes's preference. Is that even relevant?
Yeah. So I suppose the way to put it is when all other things are considered equal, if from our agent's perspective, everybody's qualified, Tom may, or any of the other applicant team may have a personal relationship with them. They may understand their pricing structure better. They may, for any number of reasons that may be relevant, they just have a preference. But from the position that Bill Holt has taken, we don't feel that any one of them would offer an inferior review. So it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other from our perspective.
I'll leave it to Mary Rimmer.
Okay.
I would just, I know both parties, and I work with Joe Strawatka in Salisbury. He does peer reviews in Salisbury. I know that he's familiar with Barrier Beach issues because of Salisbury. That's the only, I haven't worked with Phil in a very long time, but he's a reputable engineer as well. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr.
right.
Chairman, if I can just add, so
Yeah,
as Mary
go ahead, Tom.
indicated, yeah, Joe does peer reviews for the town of Salisbury, and Phil does them for the city of Newburyport. So they both have very equivalent experience, and so again, I think it may be cleaner to go with Phil because the appearance of any kind of conflict with Mary, because Mary also does the peer reviews for the town of Salisbury. So so it just seems cleaner to go with Phil, but again, they're both very qualified. They both scrutinized projects that I've done before pretty heavily. So, I'm not, it's not like I'm dying to have anything peer reviewed with either of them, but Mr. Christensen is fine.
And just so the
Okay.
board knows, if I could just add one thing, Brian,
Go
that
ahead, Mary.
I'll be stepping down as representative for the neighbors following this meeting. So I won't have any further involvement in the project, just so you know.
Excellent. Thank you, Mary.
Mhm.
Okay. So then back to the board. Unless anybody has anything else to add? I think, the business at hand is making a motion and then voting on, yeah, go Kev.
Mary, is there a replacement coming in for you as a representative for the neighbors?
Yes, and they were at the site visit. Stan
okay.
Humphreys is a coastal geologist.
And
And,
there's no potential ties from him to any of these, either of these peer reviewers?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I just thought it'd be a good question. to ask.
Yeah, because Stan, his office is not around here. But he is a coastal geologist. I know he's done work in Newburyport, but
Sure.
I don't see that there would be any conflict there.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before we kind of move on. Thanks.
Yeah, good question, Kevin. I'm rushing a little bit, so well done. Anyway, so with that being said, it's if the board would like to entertain a motion to pick a name, this seems like the time.
Move that we select Phil Christensen as our peer review guy.
Seconded.
All right. First and a second. Benjamin, roll call.
Yes.
Okay. Daniel?
Yes.
All right. Kevin?
Yes.
Okay. And I will vote in the affirmative as well. And so that is all tied up. We have our peer reviewer.
I move to
And
continue
with that, right?
this
Right.
hearing.
There's no other business that we know of. So let's continue this until what? Bill Holt, what's the next day? It's the first.
Yes.
Yeah, December 1st. So move to continue until 7 p.m. on the 1st.
Yes, I move to continue this hearing until December 1st, 7 p.m.
Seconded.
Beautiful. Excellent. All right, roll call.
Yes.
Benjamin. Daniel.
Yes.
And Kevin.
Yes.
All right, and I'm also going to vote in the affirmative, so that's all set. So, yeah, unless anybody has any sort of closing remarks, I think we're done here for the evening.
Just thank you very much. Have a
Thank
good
you.
Actually, we
All right, thanks, guys.
have 2 items on for COCs.
We do? Oh, sorry, Bill.
I snuck them in there.
Where'd that go? Sorry, I lost track of my
Can you
agenda.
hear
I
me?
didn't look that far.
Hello?
Yeah.
What happened? Can you hear me?
We can, Bill.
You can hear me or not.
Okay, here we go. Certificates. Bain and Eunice Campbell, 14-18 Independence Way, DEP 050333 and 050494, to close out 2 OOCs for construction of a new home dating back to August 7th, 1990 and August 18th of 1998. Wow. All right, Bill, what are these?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. They're very old. All of our files from that time period have been destroyed due to the water damage that occurred in the storage unit. So just kind of had to use my best judgment and take a look at aerial images from Google Earth and other sources. And it appears that nothing has taken place since 1995 on the properties. I did go out to the properties and inspected them. It's well stabilized. Obviously, the house has been reconstructed. It appears to be in condition. I would recommend that the commission close out these two files by issuing a COC.
Okay. Well, what's the pleasure of the commission?
Move to issue certificates for both those applications. So
I second Mr. Streeter's motion.
Okay. So roll call. Hey, Peter. Roll call, Benjamin,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
and Peter. Do you want to vote on that?
I won't vote. I just joined the meeting. I'm sorry. I had a select board, planning board meeting at the same time.
You're forgiven. Don't worry. And I will also vote in the affirmative then. All right, Bill, you got those closed out. And so, Peter, while we've got you, we did pick the peer review. Mary did announce that this is her last meeting representing the neighbors, and that was it.
Okay.
And who'd we pick
Yeah.
for peer review?
Bill?
Bill Christensen.
Bill Christensen.
Bill Christensen.
And
Yeah, quick and dirty. It's over.
Is there a chance that he'd have the peer review done by December 1st, or is it probably going to be continued past that? Yeah.
No.
Well, wait, we don't have the final plans yet, so that's the biggest issue. And I
Got it.
just talked to Tom. I think we're going to get them next week. As soon as we get them, we'll forward them over to Phil, along with the other information available. And then I'll get a time frame from him at that point.
Okay.
Probably will be 2
The
weeks.
reason I
so
asked
it may be
that-
close.
There's a good chance I'm probably going to miss this first meeting, and I'd really like to be a part of any serious discussion about the it weighs on whether or not I make the Zoom call. So if it's just going to get continued, I'll probably end up missing it. And as long as we have as well. So if you guys remember from the December 1st meeting, if you need me there for a quorum, I could probably do it, but I'd rather not.
Thanks, Kev. I think
So-
probably Bill Holt, we're expecting them to have a new set of plans for December, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
expecting it next week, the very latest.
And so then we would not, it would be very unlikely for the complete plans to be done early enough for the peer reviewer to even talk to us until what, January?
No, I would expect either, if not the 1st, then likely the 15th if we have a hearing on the 15th. We do have, our next regular hearing is November 24th. And I assume we'll have another one on 2 weeks from that, so December 1st will be our next second regular meeting, or our first regular meeting in December. And that would line up for December 15th as the second regular meeting, since the first is going to be this meeting. I'm sorry. It'll be probably the 8th would be the next meeting in December that we'd have a regular meeting. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Typically, typically the case volume has started to dwindle this time of year in town. Are we seeing that this year, or are we going to be continuing on, good reason to continue on the twice a month?
Nope, it has dwindled a little bit. I think we have 6 items on the next agenda, 4 of which are continuances and 2 are new. 1 new RDA and 1 new notice of intent, both minor projects. And we have the continuances for 3 Newburyport Turnpike and 75 Boston Road, as well as the continuances for Dave Mante's dock, and the continuance for 3 Southern Boulevard, the restoration of the dune. So hopefully they'll go rather quickly. Some of them, the first 2 may be continued. It depends on the outcome of some plan work. The rest should be here on the 24th. So I think we also may want to have a discussion on the proposed bylaw changes. I met with Lisa Mead yesterday and discussed that process, and I'm going to give you a summary of my discussion with her before the next meeting, so you can all review that, and then we can discuss it if you'd like at the end of that meeting.
And we have a site walk at 9 a.m. on the 18th for 84 Boston. My calendar right about this?
Yeah.
Correct.
I unfortunately have just learned of a conflict on that morning, so I will not be able to be at that.
Okay. That's okay, right? Because Bill Holt can take notes for you, right? But that's too bad. Well, good. Thank you, Bill, for the lightning round summary there. And any concerns on your end before you let us all go, or are you feeling okay about everything at the moment? Any hanging questions? Any issues worth letting us know about now, or not so much?
Actually, we did get a DEP appealed one Plum Bush for some. I can send you all their appeal, the reasons for their appeal. It has to do largely with the loss of salt marsh under the proposed and existing building, which I find a little strange, but we'll see what the outcome of that's going to be.
Okay. All right, that'll be interesting to read.
I'm thinking good.
Okay. Well, then in that case, if anybody would like to move to adjourn.
Move to close the
Do
meeting.
the honors. Oh, come on. Let Pete do it.
Oh, Pete, yeah, you do it.
Come on,
I
Pete.
come in last. Can't be the guy to say we got
Yeah.
first.
No, do it. Do it. I want to hear
First
it.
one in, first one out.
Yeah.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Second.
It was funny. All right, roll call. Benjamin,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
and Peter.
I guess so, yes.
I'm also voting the affirmative. And with that, gentlemen, that is the fastest meeting we've ever had.
Yes.
Good night.
Yo.
New record.
Good night, guys.
Yeah.
Good night.